What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and as you can tell from the title, I'll be talking about the Euro 2020 fixtures that were played in Group C, E, G, and I. Today's featured match will be the Group E fixture between Croatia and Hungary, where Croatia came out 3-0 victors. Belgium also became the first team to officially qualify for Euro 2020 after they defeated San Marino 9-0. Well, we all expected a rout, maybe a 10-0, but not a 9. So Belgium, you kind of let me down with that performance though, for real. But before I give you my thoughts on that Croatia versus Hungary game, let's talk about the other 9 fixtures that took place today. So let's first start with Group C, where Belarus and Estonia played each other to a 0-0 draw. With that point, Belarus remained 4th on 4 points, and picking up their first points in the current Euro 2020 qualifiers, Estonia are still at the bottom on 1 point. With 2 group matches remaining, neither Belarus nor Estonia are able to qualify for the Euro 2020 games via the normal means. But on the flip side, Belarus are still able to qualify for Euro 2020 via the UEFA Nations League playoff route. As for Estonia, who placed bottom of their League C group, I think they are done. The other teams in Group C are Germany, Netherlands, and Northern Ireland, but Germany didn't play today, which meant that the Netherlands took on Northern Ireland. I tried to watch this game, but I wasn't able to. Some network issue. But I was going to watch the Croatia game still. I just wanted to watch 2 games at the same time. The game was scoreless up until the 75th minute when McGuinness scored for Northern Ireland. But Memphis Depay equalized for the Dutch in the 80th, and Luke de Jong gave them the lead in the first minute of extra time. The Dutch were greedy for more goals and finished off the Northern Irishmen when Memphis Depay completed a brace in the 94th minute of the game. This was actually the result that I was expecting from this match, since the Dutch has been going through a very good patch of form. As for Northern Ireland, they have started off their campaign very well, already on 12 points, but I knew they would come up short against bigger teams like Germany and Netherlands. So with this win, the Dutch go on top the table on 12 points. Their current standing is better than Germany, who also has 12 points. With this loss, Northern Ireland dropped from 1st to 3rd in the group on 12 points, and their remaining 2 matches are against the Netherlands and Germany. So I wish you a lot of luck, Northern Ireland. You'll need it. So with the Netherlands having to play Belarus, Estonia, and Northern Ireland in their remaining 3 matches, they're sure to qualify for Euro 2020 after missing Euro 16 and the 2018 World Cup. So the Dutch Renaissance is definitely a real thing. So at the end of these matches, the Netherlands and Germany are the 2 teams qualifying for the Euros. What do I think? Who will end up qualifying at the end of all these games? I think it will be the Dutch and the Germans. Northern Ireland, I think, will miss out on automatic qualification and will need to depend on the UEFA Nations League route. So let's move on to Group G, where North Macedonia defeated Slovenia 2-1 in what was a well-anticipated Balkan derby. North Macedonia scored their goals in the 50th and 68th minute, courtesy of the Napoli midfielder Ilif Elmas. Slovenia bagged the late consolation goal in the 95th minute through Josip Ilicic. I am really surprised by this result because Slovenia was building up a head of steam in the last international break. Matthias Kekt has really turned his team around, but it seems like they are losing steam again. Or maybe they're just very inconsistent. Or who knows, maybe the fact that it was a Balkan derby, you know, they lost their heads and they end up losing the game. With 3 games to go, North Macedonia are currently 3rd in the group on 11 points and put themselves in contention to still qualify for the 2020 Euros. As for Slovenia, they are still in contention in 4th place on 11 points. This group looks like one that will definitely go down to the wire. In one of the other Group G games, Latvia took on Poland in a match which ended 3-0 in favor of the visitors Poland. This was courtesy of a brilliant hat-trick scored by Robert Lewandowski in the 9th, 13th, and 76th minute. Poland versus Latvia, I wasn't expecting anything different. Maybe more goals, but still a 3-0 win, a hat-trick for Lewandowski is more than satisfactory for the visitors. With that win, Poland go up to 16 points on top of the table, 3 points clear of the team in 2nd. Latvia are still at the bottom of the table, losing all of their 7 matches on 0 points. Very I really think Latvia shouldn't be playing against teams like Poland in the Euro qualifiers. They should have a preliminary qualifiers for these teams so we won't be seeing these blowouts. In the third Group G fixture, Austria came from behind to defeat Israel 3-1. Israel scored first to Zahavi in the 34th minute, but his goal was cancelled out by Valentino Lazaro in the 41st. Hinteregger put Austria in the lead in the 56th, and Marcel Sabitzer put the nail in Israel's coffin when he scored in the 88th minute. With this win, Austria goes second in the group on 13 points, and despite Eren Zahavi continuing his great form, scoring his 10th goal in the current Euro 2020 qualifiers, Israel are still fifth in the group on 8 points. Even though Poland and Austria are the two favorites to qualify from Group G, I still think it's going to go down to the wire because North Macedonia and Slovenia won't give up the fight. So let's talk about Group I, where we had 3 matches today. The first match was between Kazakhstan and Cyprus. The home team scored first to Yolanov in the 34th minute, and then Cyprus equalized in the 73rd minute through Soti Ryu, and Ayonu scored the winner in the 84th. In the grand scheme of things, this win put Cyprus third in the group on 10 points, but they're still 8 points behind the team in second, which means that Cyprus would most likely not qualify via the normal means. They will have to depend on the UEFA Nations League playoffs. As for Kazakhstan, after 7 games, they are fourth in the group on 7 points and can no longer qualify directly to the Euros. In one of the other Group I matches, Russia defeated the hapless Scotland 4-0. Scotland has been going through a very bad run as of late, but they do still have the UEFA Nations League cushion to depend on, so good luck with that. Russia's first goal came in the 57th minute through their most informed player Artem Zuba. Ozdoev scored 3 minutes later in the 60th. Zuba completed a brace in the 70th minute, and Golovin put the final nail in Scotland's coffin in the 84th. With this big win, Russia are currently second in the group on 18 points, 8 points ahead of third place Cyprus, so they're all but guaranteed a direct spot at the Euros. After 7 matches, Scotland could only muster up 6 points and can no longer qualify for the Euros via the qualifiers. But as I said earlier, they still do have the cushion of the UEFA Nations League playoffs since they placed first in their League C group. For the final game in Group I, Belgium defeated San Marino 9-0. This match should have never happened. UEFA needs to do something about fixtures like these. This should never happen. 9-0, like come on. It's ridiculous. I was watching a little piece of this game and Belgium took a while to score their first goal, but after they scored 1, it was 6 at halftime and then it was 9 by the full-time whistle. This game should never happen. That's why Romelu Lukaku has 50 goals for Belgium, because he bullies these weaker teams. Guys, I'm currently going to read this off the phone because it's way too many goals to just, go off the top here. So Lukaku scored the first goal in the 28th minute, and Nasser Chadli scored the second in the 31st. Brawley an own goal in the 35th, and then Lukaku completed his brace in the 41st. Alderweireld scored in the 43rd. Tillemans in the first minute of extra time. Christian Benteke bagged the goal in the 79th minute. Like, guys, could you believe that? And then Vecherin scored a penalty in the 84th. I don't know that player at all. And then Castan completed the route in the 90th. It was actually nice to see some fresh faces in the Belgian team like Hans Vanaken and Vecherin. And a big congrats to Christian Benteke for putting one in the back of the net. He can't seem to put them in the back of the net for Crystal Palace. And I'm talking about not this season, not the last season, the season before. He's been struggling. So with this big win, 9-0 against San Marino, Belgium are 7-7 and they become the first team to officially qualify for the Euros. Congratulations to Belgium, man. I always knew they would do it, and they didn't let me down. This team is too damn good not to win anything. Like, they haven't won a Euros, they haven't won the World Cup. Like, what is going on? Golden generation, nothing to show for it. San Marino are at the bottom of the group, 7 losses in 7 games, of course. These matches should not happen. Do something about that, UEFA. So let's go on to the final group, Group E, where Slovakia and Wales played to a 1-1 draw. Wales scored first in the 25th minute through Moore, and then Coker equalized for Slovakia in the 53rd. With that draw, Slovakia go up to second in the group on 10 points, 3 short of the team in first. As for Wales, they're currently in fourth on 7 points. That's quite disappointing for a team with so much quality. I don't think they're going to qualify directly for the Euros. The other teams in this group are Azerbaijan, Croatia, and Hungary, but the other game was played between Croatia and Hungary, in which Croatia came out 3-0 winners, avenging the 2-1 loss they suffered earlier in the season. And that's the game I want to talk about today in detail. That's the featured match. Croatia versus Hungary. These Croatian boys came out to play football today. The game was played in Split. The crowd came out, they were noisy, and they were behind the team. Team came out 3-0 victors. Well played, Croatia. This is the Croatian team that got all the way to the finals of the 2018 World Cup. This is the spirit they showed during that World Cup. Not what they've been doing lately in the UEFA Nations League and then picking up draws against Azerbaijan and losing to Hungary. This is the Croatian team that we have all grown to love. They played with heart, they played with fight, and they comprehensively defeated Hungary today. Congratulations to Croatia, man. When a lot of people had doubts that Croatia might miss the Euros because of how they played in the UEFA Nations League and they're losing to Hungary, the draw last time against Azerbaijan, Croatia has come back hard. But this team is definitely schizophrenic, guys. Schizophrenic. Because one time, they look out of sorts, and another time they look like world beaters. But the way Croatia scored their goals today is evidence that this team means business going forward. I am going to vouch for the team because I saw what they did at the World Cup and I saw what they did today. They played well on the ball and off the ball, especially off the ball. Their movement was just really, really good, and they pressed high and they were rewarded. The first goal, that Luka Modric goal, it was made out of nothing. He forced a mistake out of the defender, snatched the ball away from him, and put it past Golaski in goal. 1-0 to Croatia. The second goal, similar to the first, Ante Rebic stealing the ball over on the left-hand side from the defender, passing it to Bruno Petkovic, who skillfully beat the goalkeeper, who was, pressuring him. Defenders were coming in, and Petkovic just pretended like he was going to control the ball and hold it up and just back flick it in the back of the net. Congratulations to Bruno Petkovic for, breaking into the Croatian team after his brilliant form for Dinamo Zagreb and for coming into the Croatian team and producing. Remember, guys, there's no more Mario Mandzukic. Andrej Kramaric is currently injured. Rebic could play through the center, but you don't want to have a makeshift center forward. They have tried numerous players, Livaya, Ivan Santini, and maybe one or two other players, but it seems like Bruno Petkovic is the man going forward that would represent Croatia in the center forward position. So please, Zlatko Dalic, leave Petkovic up there. When Kramaric is fit again, let him play second fiddle, or maybe you can play 2 at the top. Do not discourage the young man by putting him on the bench for Kramaric or anybody else. Leave him at the top, show belief in this player, and he is going to reward you because he is very skillful. I've seen some of the brilliant goals he scored for Dinamo Zagreb. So Petkovic is definitely one exciting prospect going forward. You have to build for the 2022 World Cup. You can't discourage these young players and let them wither by the wayside. So keep up the good work, Bruno Petkovic. The third goal came courtesy of another defensive error from Hungary. Perisic crossed the ball over from the right. He played on the right today, which was kind of weird. He usually plays on the left, but him and Rebic switch, which shows that Zlatko Dalic is thinking. He's doing different things. He's trying. He's experimenting because obviously when they played them in Hungary, it didn't work. They lost the game. Perisic crossing the ball over and the defender missing that ball, missing the kick. Goalkeeper, getting wrong-footed basically. And then Bruno Petkovic just basically reacting. It was like a reaction. He just stuck a leg out, it hit his leg, looped up and went into the back of the net. He wasn't really expecting it. He didn't shoot it for goal, but the way he just positioned his body, the ball hit him and went into the back of the net. But he didn't care. He completed a well-deserved brace. There was a few other half chances created here and there by Croatia, but at halftime it was 3-0 3-0. Hungary were completely outplayed. They didn't have any clear chances whatsoever in the first half. Also, I must note that Marcelo Brozovic will miss Sunday's match against Wales because of yellow card accumulation. But Kovacic should slot in seamlessly because the team has so much depth. I really like what Zlatko Dalic and the other selectors are doing with this team. The Croatian team looks very good for the future. They are rebuilding very, very nicely. Guys, don't forget, there's a lot of players who left after the World Cup. Subasic, Strinic, Vesaliko is constantly injured, Mandzukic, and, you know, you have guys like Modric and Rakitic up there in age. The team has a lot of depth. There's a lot of depth in the midfield. There's a wealth of defenders, wealth of forwards. I think Croatia's future looks bright. Croatia showed similar intensity in the second half, but was unable to add to their 3 first half goals. They could have done so when Ante Rebic was brought down in the box and the referee pointed to the spot. I thought that Petkovic would have been allowed to complete his hat-trick, but Ivan Perisic stepped up and missed his spot kick. Like, come on. In these situations, guys, when you're already winning the game, 3-0, it is only fair that you allowed the young man to take the PK. Like, this would have done a world of good for his confidence. Who knows when he'll get another chance to score a hat-trick in a competitive fixture. So I think that was a wrong call by Captain Luka Modric, who maybe should have taken the penalty himself. Kleinheiser, the man who committed the foul for that penalty, did get sent off for yellow card accumulation, but it didn't affect the remainder of the game. Hungary did get a few shots off at goal, but Dominic Livakovic was hardly tested throughout the match. And guys, it's really nice to see that Dominic Livakovic has risen to Croatia's #1 position. After Subasic retired and then Lovre Kalinic was tried, Livakovic now has his chance and he has held it down like a boss. The man who came off the bench in this game was the very excited Nikola Vlasic, the very talented Josip Brekalo, and the ever-dependable Mateo Kovacic. All in all, it was a great performance by Croatia. This is how they need to play. They need to play with this hunger and intensity in every single game. It's the worst thing when you're watching this Croatian team and they look like they have no idea what they're doing. They're just going through the motions. They look tired and they look clueless without any creativity. But it was far from that on the day. So congratulations to Croatia. They are now on top of the group on 13 points and a win will put them directly into Euro 2020. As for Hungary, they are still in with a shout, currently third in the group on 9 points. So who do I think will qualify directly from this group? Croatia for sure. Hungary or Slovakia, guys, I really don't know. Both these teams are very inconsistent. But if I have to put my money on any one of these teams, maybe I'll go for Hungary. So for a recap of Group E, Croatia on top the group on 13 points, Slovakia second 10 points, Hungary third 9 points, Wales fourth 7 points, and Azerbaijan at the bottom can no longer qualify for the Euros directly on 1 point. Well, maybe they can if they win all 3 remaining fixtures, and I doubt they will. So guys, thanks for getting through this video. If you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, especially if you're from Croatia. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know if I miss any major talking points. I can't talk about everything. Remember that this is just a summary, a quick recap. And until next time, from your boy Dominic Rich, peace out. Rich Squad.